do better in this one. Try and keep up with the Texas rider. Roloff has pulled it off the racetrack with a mechanical problem. Roloff, a big story in the race right now, has pulled it off. So if Smith's going to have any competition at all, it should come from Chuck Graves and the National Endurance Racing Champion, Pete Carroll. Let's see how 94 Carroll and 210 Graves go up against Glenn Smith in that 750 class. We'd like to have Graves and Rawson in that last race come up to the announcer's tower, please. So Roloff and Graves out of the race. There goes the 750 class. The open class already up into the turn 3 and 4 area. And of course in the open class, keep your eye on Brubaker. Out there all by himself. Mallory should give chase. So should Frederick Ladd and Farnsworth. But look for Brubaker to be leading the pack in the open class. This is of course just a break-in time, fill-in time for Brubaker. Get his, as we mentioned, get himself prepped for Laguna and get him back in shape for road racing again. He's had a year and a half layoff, and it's good to see him back. However, in that 750 class, as we mentioned, look for Carroll, 94, and Smith. By the start-finish line, leading the 750 class, Glenn Smith out of Texas. Up in the booth, we've got the two guys that for the first time ever since I've been announcing races in 8 years, we've had an absolute dead heat, a tie, and we're talking to one of them right now, Todd Rawson up here. Boy, that was awfully close. When you guys crossed the line, did either of you guys think that you might have won it?
I don't know, it was so close that we were both looking at each other right in the face. I mean, we couldn't tell. It depends on where the line was to where we're at.
When we talk about even competition, those Honda motorcycles seem to do pretty well, don't they?
Yeah, they're great. Last year I wanted the Kawasaki, and I'm glad for the switch.
All right. Well, that was Todd Rawson. Todd, you want to get in a word, a plug for any of your sponsors? Get Mike Graves back up in here. Todd, let's get a word for some of your sponsors.
Sure. I'd like to thank Motorcycle Recyclers and Alba Honda, Spectra Oils, Mom and Dad, Wendy, and I'd like to thank God for keeping me in one piece.
What about, you have a tuner?
My dad, Walt Rawson.
All right, good. Good luck to you the rest of the day. You've got a couple more races coming up, don't you?
Yeah, Formula 2 and Modified Production.
Get to them, buddy. And I understand now we're going to have a runoff between you two guys next month. I guess the start of the race. So we'll have a 2-lap runoff. Mike, could you have called it too? Mike, it was so close.
You know, I just couldn't call it. I was coming up from behind, and it looked like, you know, I was right there, but I definitely didn't finish in front of him.
But you sure did finish close. Those Hondas, as we were talking to Todd, good bike and pretty even in... where were you getting him, and where was he getting you out on the racetrack?
Well, it seemed like that I was just staying in front of him, and he was really gaining on me out in the turn 8 and turn 9 area. The wind was so bad, I was just slowing way down. Apparently, his bike's working a little bit better out there than mine. And I was just able to stay ahead of him on the front straight, so I guess when we got in the turns, I was, picking up enough time, out in turn 2, according to someone who was watching the race. So...
want to mention, let's get a word for your sponsor real quick, and then we'll let you go.
Okay, it's Honda of Santa Monica, Dr. John Sprame Straightening at Racer Supply.
All right, one last thing. I want to explain. You like that format? We're going to let you and Todd Rosen have a little 2-lap runoff here before the next race next month.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Just 2 laps? That'd be great.
I think it sounds like a good idea, too. Then we'll find out who wins this thing, actually. We can't give away 2 first-place trophies in this class. It was a great job by those 2 riders, Todd Rosen and Mike Graves. Well, we just couldn't call it. Here they come down the front straightaway, and it looks like 94 is now leading that 750 class, and that's going to be Pete Carroll, the National Endurance Racing Champion on the Suzuki. He's got the lead right now over the Texas rider Glenn Smith. Terry French doing a good job, and we haven't seen Terry up on the leaderboard for quite some time. In fact, if ever, this has got to be his best day of racing ever. He's now running up there in 3rd spot. In 4th spot is bike number 117 in that 750 modified production class. That is going to be, well, that's Nathan Ladd. He's back in the open modified class. Then in 6th spot is 82. That's Mike Mittig. Then comes 221 in 7th spot, and that's going to be Jim Martin. But we want to find out way out in front. It's got to be out in front. Todd Brubaker, and there he goes. Todd Brubaker right now, 681 as they get the halfway flag. 689 out in front. Looks like Chris Mallory, 55, running in 2nd spot. Coming down here in 3rd spot overall, 588, and that's going to be David Frederick on the Suzuki. And here's this battle for 750 class. That's Glenn Smith going by, and then behind him Pete Carroll, and then Terry French running in 3rd spot. And in 4th spot, Mike Mittig. And boy, it's rare to see Mike Mittig that far down, the way he's been running today. So Todd Brubaker out here just getting laps back that he lost for a year and a half, just out there riding for the experience right now. And of course, he's got a pretty good lead on Russ Miller's bike out there. Russ, of course, sitting this one out with a broken wrist. He suffered here a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to, I guess, take that cast off tomorrow. There's about 17 of you guys. Let's get Formula 2 up to the pre-grid, please. Formula 2, first call. Okay, we're looking for that battle in the 750 class, and nobody's getting near Glenn Smith right now, except for Pete Carroll, the endurance racing champion, trying to keep Glenn Smith in sight. Running in 3rd spot now, Terry French, and he's still holding on to a lead over Minnick, who's running 4th in that class, 750 modified production class. Right now out in front, though, of course, overall, it is Todd Brubaker with Chris Mallory in 2nd spot, David Frederick running in 3rd. But we've got 4 riders that could take that 750 class. But right now, it looks like Glenn Smith is going to hold on to it, and if he does, he will pick up another $500. So Glenn Smith could go home with about $1,000 in his pocket, and that'll make his drive back to Texas pretty rewarding if he can hold on to that lead. They have an aggressive style on it. He's got a big lead, but it still looks like he's got some sort of problem with the bike. Now check and see if Glenn Smith has that big lead again. No, there goes Glenn Smith, but let me tell you, Pete Carroll hanging tough. We got the Texas rider out in front, California, running in second spot. As they head around turn number 2. And looks like we're not through hearing from Pete Carroll as he's closing in on your leader, Glenn Smith, as they head around turn number 2. That Texas rider, Glenn Smith, came out here about 4 or 5 months ago and has just been tearing this place up, taking home a lot of money with him in both clubs, AFM and ARRA. The owner, but he owns that motorcycle that Brubaker's on. Look at Brubaker comes down the
black. One thing, I think the ignition is shot.
Well, he's got an easy win, but I think what he'd like to do is get that bike in better shape before Laguna. I take it that he's going to go to Laguna with that bike, right?
Well, if we can get her together, we're going to be there. That's still up in the air right now. We'll have to see.
Okay. Well, Russ Miller, of course, would like to get back on that bike himself, I'm sure, but broken wrist on the sideline here, and he'll be back in action. When will you be back in action, Russ? Probably next month?
Well, I might be able to get on a bike in about 3 weeks. Again, I'll have to see how the wrist does.
Okay, good luck to you when you come back, Russ. It looks like right now Todd Brubaker's going to have an easy win here, even though the bike's not really running up to snuff as of yet. Minnick coming by here in third spot now. He has now got third spot in 750 production as he displaces Terry French back to fourth in 750 modified production. We got the white flag out, and we're looking for Todd Brubaker to limp his motorcycle across the start-finish line for a pretty easy win for Todd. Formula 2. Formula 2 up to the pre-grid, please. This is your second call, Formula 2. All right, we're looking for the checkered flag, and we're looking for bike number 689, Todd Brubaker. Here comes Todd. Coming out, he's going to get the easy win as he coasts across the line. Oh, a close battle there behind him. That is lap traffic, I believe. So we're looking for that battle in the 750 class. Let's see if Glenn Smith can hold on. Or if Pete Carroll can catch him at the end. Let's find out. Here they come. Oh, and it's getting close down and through here. It's going to be a tight finish in 750 modified production. Here they come out of turn number 9. Oh, they're side by side right now, coming down the start-finish straight. Glenn Smith, and he takes Chris Mallory for second spot, and he opened up a pretty big gap over between himself and Carroll. So actually Glenn Smith had the easy lead, but it was a matter of whether he could get around Mallory, and he did. So the 750 bike got around the big bike and got second spot. Minnick's going to hold off French for third spot. Formula 2 up to the pre-grid, please. Formula 2 up to the pre-grid.